To become an International Baccalaureate, or IB school, is an achievement to be proud of.
To become an IB World School, you have to navigate a myriad of tasks. So we have to review documentation, we have to comb through our units of inquiry and mirror them with the Common Core state standards and make sure that we are meeting our own goals that we set for ourselves as we continue to grow as an IB World School.
The Children's Guild currently offers 2 IB schools. Monarch Global Academy Laurel was the first to be authorized.
So for Monarch Global Academy, we were on an 18-month timeline from the time the doors opened until the time we were authorized, which is a very, very fast authorization timeline.
There are 13 PYP schools in Anne Arundel County that are currently authorized as IB schools, Monarch Academy Annapolis being the most recent.
It was a very long process, very tedious, but we worked through it together as a school and we won. We are now accredited, so we're excited about the future.
The journey for Monarch Academy Annapolis to become an authorized IB school was a long one.
It's a process. I mean, it took us 5-6 years, a little longer because of the pandemic. Obviously, things were thrown in the mix, but no, you can't just sign up for this. You definitely have to go through a process.
Once a school gets the designation, the journey isn't over. Schools constantly have to reevaluate and make adjustments.
IB schools are held accountable through the self-study process, which is based on a rubric. It's a set of standards and practices that you are required to implement, and you have to demonstrate certain policies and evidence. So a lot of what we do is we set goals and we gather evidence that we are working towards those goals. We document that evidence and we submit the evidence. They review all of that prior to coming to visit. Then once they come to visit, they go through a series of tours, observations, interviews, where they're looking to see that the evidence you've provided on paper through video, through photos, and through reflections is actually in practice, is a living, breathing part of the culture and work your students and teachers are doing every day.
Being an IB school doesn't end with the recognition. It takes a lot of work to continue as an authorized IB school.
Anytime that we are up for reauthorization, it requires us to reflect on our practices and set goals to move us forward. So a few years ago when we went up for our reauthorization, we reflected on our documents and all of the units that we created at the start and talked about how we grew them and sustained them and continued to make them more relatable to current learning, to current events, to what's happening in our local and global community. And then reflect on for staff, to reflect on how our staff has transitioned as our school has continued to grow.
And being an IB school does mean being open to continued growth.
I think what's really important about the process is that all stakeholders are involved. So the reflections and interviews of students and parents weigh as heavily on the process as the reflections and interviews of administrators and teachers.